They also should be supporting programs for children once they are born.
We do. I know she's the lawyer who argued Planned Parenthood versus Casey, but she needs to get her facts straight. Well, hi, I'm Chelsey Youman. I'm a pro-life lawyer with Human Coalition, and I'm so excited to be with you today.
My name's Kaya, and I'm here today at the Planned Parenthood for a surgical abortion.
Hello.
She looks really scared.
We're just going to ask you a series of questions that are required by the state of Kansas when you're getting an abortion. Are you going to want to know how far along you are based on our ultrasound?
No.
Okay. And will you want to see the ultrasound image?
No.
Will you want to receive a physical copy of the ultrasound image?
No.
Do you want to know if you have a multiple pregnancy, like twins, triplets?
No.
Why did you decide to terminate your pregnancy?
Because I knew that I couldn't give a life that was deserved. And also I'm too young. I know that there are single parents and young mothers out there who have done it and can do it and are fully capable, but that's just not my situation.
I think it's so important to hear from her mouth what she's saying. Like, what she's saying is not my body, my choice. And what she's saying is not, I feel empowered and I want this abortion. I'm excited for my abortion. Shout your abortion. All the things we've heard, the lies over decades. She's not even saying it's not a human or not a life. She knows, and I think she's sad, and she looks sad, and she's alone, and I don't think there's anything warm about what this abortion, like, look at the abortion facility and the questions they're asking her.
Was this an easy decision for you?
Oh, no. Oh, hell no. This was a very hard decision for me. I cried for weeks. After I saw the sonogram, I cried instantly seeing the sonogram because my heart was filled with love, but also with fear and just hopelessness. And it was rough. It was very rough because I would never see myself in this position.
What you're hearing is a complete lack of empowerment. They're just gonna let her go home to the exact same circumstances that brought her in. And I can't think of anything less empowering than that. You know, on the other side, if Kaya had reached out to a pro-life group, what would have happened is the first question they would ask is, what do you want? What do you care about? What do you need? How do you feel about it? And we actually ask that of all of our clients. We say, if your circumstances were different, would you prefer to parent? And 75% of the time they say yes, that they really would rather parent, that they would rather have help and childcare and feed the children they currently have, or maybe a job. And all of those issues are things that we as the pro-life movement, and really not just us, society could address. What a different world would it be for her and for her living child? The circumstances of moms will stay the same post-Roe.
One of the things that I read here, the Supreme Court in their ruling had said that abortion is not a constitutional matter. And I want to point out, too, that past liberal justices, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, shall we say, in the past, had indicated similar sentiment as well. Is the Supreme Court right?
We can stop there about Justice Ginsburg because she gets a lot of play and airtime for being like this beacon and champion of women. And by all accounts, in old interviews, she was actually kind of a racist and called certain populations unfit and said that we needed abortion in order to help eliminate those unfit populations.
Take, for example, the United States Constitution very specifically mentions that people are individuals that are born in the United States. It's the first sentence of our 14th Amendment. There is no mention of unborn in the United States Constitution.
Wow. Well, there you have it. She doesn't believe humans exist until they're born, which is the first problem all of this starts with. Yeah, I think when I see something like that, I think the bias is so important to note. I mean, when you're watching the news and taking it in the media and everything going on in the world right now, It's really important to see how they're framing the issues before they even get to the answers, because I think they're trying to like shift culture's mindset, and it's on us to say, is that true? Is it true that abortion is enshrined in the Constitution? And the truth of the matter is no. The Constitution does not speak to abortion. If anything, it speaks to the rights to life and the rights to pursue freedom and protecting freedoms from government infringement. Even pro-choice professors say Roe was an abomination as a decision. It wasn't rooted in law, not rooted in science, not rooted in anything other than opinions at the time. And so for us to go back, as the Supreme Court so often does with a precedent, and say, we're going to correct the record here and set the record straight, it's a good thing. The so-called right to abortion is not constitutional. And it's time for us as a society to say that humans in the womb matter, they have rights, and they're worthy of protection.
It might look like the moon, but it's something even more way out. It's a picture of a human fetus inside its mother's womb.
Oh, it's a sonogram. Is it a sonogram?
The machine, called an echoscope, has just come out of the experimental stage and will soon be offered for use by hospitals across Australia. About 1 in 10 expected mothers may require special uterine examination during their pregnancies. In perhaps half these cases, the echoscope can do the job more safely or more efficiently than X-ray. It can take pictures from the 12th week.
Although the machine offers a striking picture of the unborn child, doctors say it's still unsuitable for some things. You still can't tell, for instance, whether it'll be a boy or a girl.
Wow. I think that's so cool. I think it's really cool to see where it started, and that was in, my parents' lifetime even. I will say though, when the court in Roe versus Wade was deciding the case, some embryology was presented to the court, and they did say, look, this is a human child in the womb. This is what we know about children in the womb at this phase. And the court specifically said, we refuse to acknowledge or deal with the question of when life begins. They said, we're just gonna put a blinder up there and not ever deal with the human who's actually most impacted by abortion, the child whose life is ended. I always say that this isn't our mother's Roe world. I mean, this isn't 1973, and that's because society has changed so much since Roe. But all of it's incredible because it really points to the truth. And it's a scientific truth, it's a medical truth. It's interesting because whether it was 1973 or 2022, whether we see it or not, or understand what's going on or not, it really doesn't change the reality of what's happening. There is a human child growing and developing in their mother's womb when she's pregnant. And we can maybe see it more clearly soon or less clearly in the past, but we now know, I think we know enough as a society to do better by women and their children. I think we know enough to say it's pretty undeniable what is going on in a pregnancy, and at the end of the day, it's on us and our consciences to decide what we're willing to tolerate. If we know it's a human, we know it's alive, and we know it's growing, then why are we justifying ending it? That's wild to me.
In its history, the Supreme Court has made profound decisions, abolishing segregation in schools, same-sex marriage, all of them expanding American freedoms. This is the first time it's issued a major ruling going in the opposite direction, taking those liberties away.
All right, this one got me a little fired up. So, first and foremost, our rights end where another's begin. So abortions are not conducted on women's bodies. Abortions abort another human being's body. We know it's a human being, it's not a puppy. We know that 95% of biologists agree life begins at conception. And so it's a living human being. For 50 years, we have fought upstream against precedent, trying to protect these little children in the womb. And now we can finally do that in a meaningful way, and that's so important. But over half the states still have abortion to this day. It's still accessible in many areas. Women are still traveling out of state or ordering the pills online. So truthfully, abortion hasn't changed, but I think what it looks like changes, and it's on us as a society to say, can we do better than this for women? Overturning Roe v. Wade did not end abortion.
Opponents argue three things when they say they want to ban abortion. They talk about religion, They talk about protection of fetal rights. They talk about protection of women's health. So let's take those each in turn.
Oh, this is going to get rich.
You know, the reality of the world is that the world's religions have wide variety of views on abortion, and many support them in a whole range of different circumstances. So when abortion opponents say religion, they're really just imposing their religion on the rest of us. And what about protection of fetal rights?
We can stop there because we got all day, right? So we hear this argument all the time, and it's gaslighting at its finest, just to say, well, we can't listen to these people because they have a religious view on life. Life is not a religious fact, it is a scientific fact. So when life begins is a scientific fact. Now, how much we value that human life, or how much we think that that human life matters or has personal dignity, that may be a religious question. But there's no doubt about it that the child in the womb is a living human child. So when someone tries to tell you as a pro-lifer that it's your religious view that life begins at conception, you should ask them, well, what is it? If it's not human and it's not alive, then why do we have to kill it? It's growing, we know that, and its cells metabolize, we know that. Its DNA is there at conception, all the chromosomes are there at conception, its gender is decided at conception. All of those things are present at conception. And so this is a scientific point, and one that you shouldn't let them push you around, and it's really on them to explain why they don't value a human life, not on you.
If in fact you cared about protecting fetal rights, you'd spend a lot of time working to eliminate the alarming rate of infant mortality in this country. Because in the United States, we have one of the highest rates of infant mortality in the developed world.
Do you know what she's doing right now? What she's doing right now is talking about everything besides abortion. So this is their favorite tactic. Pro-abortion people want to talk about the sky being blue and infant rights and health care for women and the social system. I mean, they want to talk about everything in the world but abortion. So make them talk about abortion. Why don't you want to discuss this? What is an abortion? What medically happens during an abortion procedure? What happens to the woman in an abortion procedure? What's her ER rate afterwards? They want to talk about the whole world and not abortion, because abortion is barbaric and ugly and really hard to defend. So.
They also should be supporting programs for children once they are born.
We do. I know she's the lawyer who argued Planned Parenthood versus Casey, but she needs to get her facts straight.
What about the protection of women's health? Well, the reality is abortion is already an extremely safe surgical procedure.
Okay, so I'm gonna fact check this attorney because this is so full of lies that I don't even know where to begin. But one of them is she said that abortion is so safe, and that's not true. So the abortion pill, the Planned Parenthood will tell the girl that it is as easy to take the abortion pill as it is an aspirin. They don't tell her what she's gonna experience. They don't tell her what her body's gonna go through, how much it hurts, what she's gonna see, think, and feel during those moments. And we know that because they'll call Human Coalition mid-abortion and tell us those things. Completely traumatized. And so this lie that abortion is so safe is terrible because it actually hurts women who go into an abortion not knowing what all is about to happen to her.
I'd guess that about half the states in this country will ban all or most abortions. We're likely to see bans stretching from Georgia all the way west to Texas, from Idaho all the way south to Arizona. Women, like Texan women, will be forced to travel to the 15 states that are controlled by pro-choice legislators and governors.
Who allow abortion, by the way, up until through the third trimester on demand. And 2 states, California and Maryland, actually say that they'll allow abortion, it's actually infanticide, up until 40 days after a child is born. But the other thing that this really reminds me of, and all of us of, it should remind us of, is how dedicated the pro-abortionists are to abortion. The fight is far from over. It's really just beginning. And so just remember, they are extreme and they are dedicated to abortion. And they are pushing full force, fully forward on the gas pedal. And I think those of us who care about children in the womb and those of us who care about life need to understand, like, okay, do your victory lap and then get back to work. They're motivated. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, this is not going to be over anytime soon, but it's so funny how dramatic they are, that the world is ending and the sky is falling, all these things. And I mean, life moves on. In Texas, they've protected children with heartbeats in Texas for over a year now. And do you know what's happening? Women are fine.
We would have childcare and universal childhood education in every community in this country. We would have paid maternity and paternity leaves.
We're all for
that. And people would actually take them.
Those are great ideas.
All working parents ought to have that right. You know, according to the Centers for Disease Control, African American women, Native American women, Alaska Native women are dying of pregnancy-related causes at 3 times the rate of white women. And most of those deaths are preventable. So in our world where we control the reins of power, we would ensure that there were programs to reduce this.
You know, that's interesting for a couple of reasons. Well, the first is I think we're actually really aligned. You know, there is a middle ground to be had no matter what side people are on, and that is we all love women and we all care for them and we want them to have safe and healthy pregnancies and outcomes and lives. And so there is a lot of work. That's great. It's something that we all agree with, and it's work we're already doing, right? So they're finally kind of catching up to the pro-life movement when it comes to care for women. We've been saying for decades the key to all of this is an infrastructure, a rescue system in place for this moment to care for women. It's here, it's ready to go. There are thousands and thousands of centers ready to go and serve women for this moment. And so they're a little behind on the uptake, but that's okay. You know what they're doing now? They're finally having to come up with some solutions besides abortion. I mean, now they're really brainstorming some great ideas about how society can do better for women than abortion. It's such a lazy thing to say we don't want to have to step in our communities and care for entire populations, so we should just have them abort their young. That's a lazy, negligent way to perceive the world. And so if they would join us in some holistic care for women and support affordable child care, safe housing, pregnancy resource centers instead of firebombing them, maybe we could help some women get ahead here.